enemy. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the casual stream with your boy, Base the Kid. Look, there was no other time than right now to come jump on there, be live, talk about everything that's gone on over the last couple of days. I've had a bit of change of heart from the episode I put out on, Tuesday. I did a bunch of obviously prediction videos on the channel. I say there's a couple more to be uploaded tomorrow. One of them is now gonna have to change, so I'm gonna have to redo that tonight. We got a main event to get to. Shout outs to everyone who is tuned in, locked in, ready to rock and roll. Thank you very much for being here. Yeah, there's a lot to talk about, and I don't know how much time I'm gonna dedicate to this live, but I guess as long and as much time as necessary. I've just finished watching the press conference. I've just got back in my house about 5-10 minutes ago. Luckily, I am coming in and I'm actually here in a good mood. Yesterday, I lost my wallet. Today, it was found. And it was found intact. Now, yes, I cancelled the majority of my cards and froze them and everything, but I managed to get it back. Same place I left it. It didn't look disturbed, and like nothing had been touched. So, we thank God, inshallah, and to everyone, the Muslim community. But yeah, God is good. And that being said, I am, in a much better mood. But that also means I'm gonna be in a more I'm gonna be definitely in a more savvy mood to talk some shit about certain situations that have taken place a little bit earlier on this weekend. Because there's a lot of misdirection. There's a lot of what I would consider some BS that's been going on, and I'm here to sort of dissect it, get the comments of the people in the chat, and then also I guess we're gonna have to look and preview fights that we weren't expecting, and that I guess can only be a good thing in this period of time. So I'm gonna get into the chat, see who's around, see who's jumped in. This isn't being streamed over TwitX. I am not on my premium account for the moment. I might take it and I might re-add it for the weekend so that we can do the live stream across the two platforms coming for Saturday. For anyone who is checking on that live stream, it will likely be a two-part live stream. I only get a 6-hour limit to stream on this platform, and we all know that event's going to last longer than 6 hours. And from what I can remember, the first match of the evening is starting at, I think it's 4:45, with the main event not scheduled to walk until about 11 o'clock UK time, give or take. So yeah, with that all kind of being said, I'm gonna need to split that in two. Chances are, if the lineup stays the same as it was before, it might end up being the Shakur Stevenson and Josh Padley fight that gets sacrificed while I set up the second half of the stream. But yeah, we'll come to that when it is time and all of that good stuff. But let me get in the chat, see who's here, see who's here nice and early more than anything else. Shout out to man like a Hydra Selassie. Boxing is a mad sport. Yes, I mean, we'll get into it. Shout out to you. Time for undisputed sparring world champion to show the world why Ali Sugar Ray Floyd was all beat up by him. I mean, yeah, we're gonna talk about it. Unlocking Faith documentary. Shout out Base. Everything mash up now. Yeah, I mean, one thing that I will say though. This was a good replacement. I mean, look, the Josh Padley thing was, we understood it, but none of us was really expecting anything major. And that Shakur was already the overwhelming favorite in that fight anyway. So that's just par for the course. But this poses a lot of different problems, and on like 48 hours notice. I mean, that kind of works against both guys here. But I've got my thoughts and opinions. I wasn't even going to do a video once I heard about Parker, but now I've definitely got to do a video prediction for this. But I haven't had any time to really sit down and analyze it. So this one's going to be more on vibes and past work. Um, Shout out to man like Anthony Hayweather, Bakole, Bombaye. I mean, I don't know if I'll be talking about Bombaye, but I mean, Bakole definitely gonna be looking to do something. Um, Luckily, you don't need to delete any prediction vids thus far. I mean, I was very strategic with the way I put them out, um, and with the issue with Shakur Stevenson and Flourish Goldford, I was lucky because I didn't actually record that video at the time, and that just kind of saved me. It saved me an upload because I was supposed to upload 2 videos yesterday, and then it was supposed to be 3 today, so I would have been one behind. But with that one dropping out, it gave me the opportunity to just do the 2 for tomorrow, which was about to become just 1. But now we're back to 2, but got some work to do after the live stream. Um, Shout out man like North Bank Bren in the building. Salute to you. Please put the video in the Discord, so that everyone in the Discord can come join in on the discussion as well. And I'll be in there a little bit later on today to chop up everything that's been kind of going on. Sky must be gutted after billing Triple D as the main event the last few weeks. Yeah, I was noticing that as well. It's like the event is quite clearly Better Beef and Bivol as the main event, but Sky have been putting Dubois and Parker as like the head, as the sort of the head fight, which is crazy because obviously then people are gonna watch it, they're gonna see that fight. Wait, we still got more show left, like what's going on? Unless they was gonna try and cut the feed after that, which would indeed be nasty work, but they ain't that petty. But I think the funny thing is though, technically you got Dubois and Parker, neither of them were Sky fighters. Like Bakole is actually a Sky fighter, so they might double down on that main event stuff right now. Feel like they hit the jackpot. Man like Veritas, Astra in the building, shout out. Cheers, base. WTF just saw the headlines. Dubois not fighting for sure. Yeah, I heard in from the group chat by source. I don't know if they want me to put the name out there, but I'm going to anyway. Shout out to Danny from Fight Fan TV. Said that one of the team messaged him a few hours back and said, yeah, he's definitely out. So even though they ain't disclosing whatever the issue is, he's out of the fight. Just heard the news, gutted. Yes, Dr. Wolf ticket. Shout out to you. Man like Philip Answer, shout out. How was I not first? I put comment up early. Oh well, I don't know. It's not in the chat there, Phil. Bakole going to do bits. I just checked. Bakole has to take a 9-hour flight. Bakole versus Parker is still a great matchup. Shout out to Skyliner, the editor. I mean, look, it's a great matchup, but this is a Bakole that we know he would have been in training because he's supposed to be fighting in May, but he wouldn't have been in proper training until next month. So what's his conditioning going to be like? We all know that he likes to eat and he likes to balloon up in and around weight. I wouldn't be surprised if he's weighing about 310 pounds. Or like maybe between there and sort of 290 to 310. I wouldn't be surprised. So ultimately, he's going to be looking to do a demolition job, like 2-3 rounds, and Parker's going to have to try and survive that, and then go later on when Bakole starts to tire and he's trying to just manage the whatever energy reserves he's got left. Skyliner, it's Kugan Cassius that's coughing and breathing all over. Everybody is making him sick and ill. I've seen it in his YouTube videos. I mean, I wouldn't put it past anyone at this point, to be honest. Okay, link in the Discord. Thank you very much, man. Like James in the building. Shout out to you, James. Evening to you. How fit? Oh, not. Maybe rewrite that. I've got an idea of what you might be meaning. I hope it's not what I think it is, but yeah. Shout out. JDM, shout out to you. What the F is going on in Saudi? Crazy week. It's been 100%. Tomiwa, shout out. Will Daniel be stripped? No, because this wasn't a mandatory. This was a voluntary challenge. So he'll be able to keep his belt. But what it will mean is that unless Turkey Al Sheikh can sort out a fight for him like immediately before the IBF final eliminator. Actually, no, he's going to be okay because the final eliminator with the IBF is now, if Bakole's going to fight this, they need to find a new eliminator. So FA Jagba is going to have to fight someone else. And I wouldn't be surprised, considering the rankings of the IBF, if FA Jagba now has to fight Frank Sanchez in a part 2 for the IBF eliminator. And then you'd have poor Ajit Caballo on the sidelines waiting. But yeah, how fit will Bakole be? His weaknesses is the fitness. Yep, I agree. Damn, Dubois catch the Scofield poison. So will this be some kind of IBF eliminator? They might put it as eliminator status for the IBF, but because Joseph Parker is still the WBO interim champion, and he was gonna be that up until like the bell rang in the ring. So maybe this might be now just for the WBO interim world title, aka the #1 spot in the WBO. I don't know if they can now sanction it as an IBF eliminator, especially when the FA Jagba thing's there. Although I guess it could be an eliminator, and then the winner of this fight would have to fight FA Jagba in the final eliminator to get to the #1 spot, I suppose. Who knows? Shout out to man like Jay Lanks in the building as well. What we thinking? Brazilian egg poisoning. What's this? Maybe my comment was poison like some of these fighters. I mean, who knows? Wouldn't put it past anyone at this point. Wasn't Bakole in training for a fight? Yeah, but his fight was supposed to be at the start of May. So he would have only just started training for that fight, and he wouldn't really kick into the training until like mid-March. He doesn't look like the kind that has the 12-week fight camps to me. Right, the media has to follow that up hard to investigate the details of those sicknesses. Can't let them get away with potentially making a farce of such a rare event. Yeah, especially the Scofield ones. The Arbeya fell short this time. Shout out to Anthony. Okay, so now I've got through all the comments. Yeah, look, it's look. I want to cook on the first part of the week. So obviously, in my video, if anyone saw the video I did based on Floyd Scofield and Shakur Stevenson and all that stuff, like basically I said, look, I didn't want to jump to conclusions initially because I didn't. All it said is he's withdrawn from the fight. I wasn't really sure what was going on. I wanted to wait. Then I saw the pictures of him obviously in the hospital, and I didn't actually do any deep diving into that. But in the video, I just said, look, I don't know what the deal is. I don't know what he's ill with potentially, but if anything, I'm wishing him I wish him a speedy recovery. And I was saying that it almost felt a bit karmic that Shakur obviously had the injury, and then cost Joe Cordina a payday, and then there was a big chance that now he could be cost a payday by Scofield. But in saying all of that, I said I predicted that Josh Padley would be the replacement, and then lo and behold, I think I put out the video, and I think maybe an hour and a half after the video came out, it was confirmed that Padley would be the replacement. And I figured him being a naturally smaller guy, he wouldn't have to take off as much weight. And from what I've been told, he only has to lose about 6 pounds, which, to be honest, I don't know if they do the steam bath thing, but he could quite easily put on a sweatsuit, do a couple of runs, and drop that weight in a couple of days. So it's not a terrible situation there. But then the problem is now with the whole Schofield thing, with everything from the dad saying that they were poisoned, and and then the masseuse rubbed cream on Shakur, and then him talking about him and his uncle or his cousin and Shakur's daddy being best friends, or Shakur's uncle and being best friends with him, and all that sort of stuff. And Shakur's like, I don't know nothing about this. With Shakur from the very start saying, these guys ain't gonna fight me. I hope they turn up, but I just don't trust them. I don't trust them to fight me. We get all of that. He's been saying from time, I don't think these guys really want to fight me. I think they're just here for clout. Then I see, then I remembered, I should say, when Scofield was supposed to fight H2O Silva on the undercard of Paul and Tyson, and he pulled out of that fight supposedly with a broken rib. But I swear he had a fight about about 3 weeks after that. Now, I know that, when you're young, you're very malleable, but broken bones don't normally heal that quickly to the point where you're then able to, get into combat. Like, a broken rib, broken wrist, like it's a 4 or 5 week job, like to get fully healed at least to go back into that sort of connection. But so there was that. I remembered that, and then I'm like, okay. Then there's been other times when they've had issues with an opponent or with making it to the ring for whatever reason. And then I started to wonder. In the video, I said, I don't think you can get. They ain't got enough money to make the Saudis be complicit in orchestrating him being in the in the ICU or in the hospital, tubes everywhere, taking this test, that test. But then when I saw an interview, Eddie Hearn said that they said they weren't feeling well, so they went to the hospital and checked themselves in. That was the key part in the story to me. I'm like, oh, so hold on a minute. So they weren't rushed to hospital, they weren't taken to hospital, they chose to go to hospital and check themselves in for tests or whatever. I mean, look, I can't lie. The whole story now is looking a lot different to how I initially had it framed in my head. Based on the fact that Shakur said from day dot, they don't want to fight me. I don't think they want to fight me. Based on the fact that Ade said that when he saw Scofield come into Riyadh, he still looked like he said he looked massive, to the point where there might have been whatever check weight, but he looked to the point where, how are you about to make 135 pounds in the next 5 days? Now, yeah, you might have tried to crash the weight like a lot of UFC guys used to do. That's a possibility. But, Shakur's like, well, yeah, of course he looks much bigger than me. I'm near to my fight weight right now. He don't look like he's been training to get into a fight camp. So there was that. Then you get this whole, he's poisoned or he's not feeling well, etc., in the hospital. Then every single accusation that the dad was making, and when it's like, oh well, we were just trolling XYZ, now all of a sudden it's, oh well, no, his team didn't actually do anything, we apologize to them, it wasn't his masseuse, I apologize for everything that I said after the fight's been called off, and we would love to be in attendance to watch this great event. All of it is making me now think, no, I'm sorry, you man was on some bullshit from the start. I've now think, having seen all the evidence, also including some immaculate work by Ring IQ, so shout out to him if you haven't seen his last 2 videos, so not the one just gone, but the 2 before that, maybe even one before that as well. But he's kind of obviously put some of this into perspective. After Shakur said it, I think I got to agree with him. I think they was looking clout. I think ultimately, when they was calling out his name, they was banking on the fact that they would never be called for the fight, because in America it's very much at this point in time, whenever you be doing, you can do the whole call out the internet thing, but everything's about marinating and we'll get to it when we get to it, when it's big enough we'll get to it. All of a sudden you got man like Turkey, I was shaking, just like we're not doing that. Like, all right, you want to fight, cool, let's get it going. And I don't think them man was really ready for that. I don't think they really thought, oh, we're about to be fighting now. It went, it kept going, and in the end they was like, all right, we got to figure something out here. They never turned up to the initial press conference. They did a couple interviews here and there, but they didn't make the grand arrivals. There was very little, interviews and stuff that they done media day. They haven't really heard them talk about the fight that much. Oscar obviously didn't want them to do it in the first place. I've even got a clip that I sent a clip to Ring IQ from the Stomping Ground interview, whereby they said, who was it? It was Scofield's dad basically said that, Oscar De La Hoya, we didn't want the cab drivers. We didn't want the easy route that Oscar and Golden Boy wanted us to be on. We wanted the hard fights. That was a different. So I started thinking about something else when they said that. Because when we talk about, Oscar's very much said, it's the fights that the fans want. But he's also criticized Eddie and everyone for, why would you put this guy in with this guy or get this guy beat for someone that nobody knows, etc., etc. So basically saying, why are you putting your people into tough fights? And them saying that was just like the extra bit on top of that. I might upload it so that you guys can see that in a bit. But yeah, all of that leads me just to say now, I think I'm calling bullshit on it. I'm calling cap. I think that they were just basically looking the clout, got what they wanted, maybe a long time before they wanted it, didn't realize that it would happen, then tried everything they could to get out of it, and then eventually have gone to the extremes of orchestrating an illness, or if it wasn't a full orchestration, it was like, I'm not really feeling great today. I want to go, let me just go hospital and get checked out. Just by virtue of going to the hospital and all of that stuff, like, the board had no choice but to call off the fight. That's my opinion on it right now. So please leave yours in the comments. I had time to digest on it. I had time to sit and think about it. I gave my initial opinions of just hoping that, if he's ill, that there's a speedy recovery. But that now is my thoughts on that particular part of everything that kind of went on. And we've got Josh Padley here now, who is, an overwhelming underdog at this point. But at the end of the day, like, at least he's probably going to be coming with no fear. Like, he'll come, he'll try to give it a go. But while I won't be putting out a prediction video for that, I think Shakur is gonna. I had the feeling he was gonna look to stop Scofield. I think he's gonna look to, and I think he will stop Padley. And I think that part of it might be due to just overall conditioning and not being ready for the fight as such. But I think Padley gets stopped, and I think it's probably about around 8 or 9. But yeah, let's get into the comments so you guys can tell me what you think about the whole Shakur and Scofield thing. Then we'll start talking about the heavyweights. Shout out to Guy Fawkes. He's also ranked one place higher than Scofield. Yep, very true. Anthony Hayweather. I was betting on Scofield to pull off the surprise as well. Well, he clearly didn't have as much faith in himself as you did. North Bank Bren, Russians in Saudi for talks. I see Russian main event not being billed as main event internationally. Poison outbreak. Just saying. Bren, don't ever change. Philip, what's Philip saying? Was there something said about a raid on Scofield or something? Yeah, said that his house was raided, the dad was thrown in the back of the van, there was drugs in the car and all that stuff. I don't know. Like, there was so much different stories that came out of that camp in the space of 2-3 weeks. It's like, all right, cool. I don't really care at this point. Jay Lanks, AJ front row to call out the winner of Bakole Parker. I mean, it makes sense. Dr. Wolf tickets, big up. I hate to say it, but that hospital picture looked dodgy to me. Well, yeah, when I saw the video, yeah, I can't lie, I started to think different. Haja Selassie, I got nervous when they didn't show up to London for a press conference, then arrivals no show. Yep. I mean, there's just a lot in it. There's just a lot. Big up Star Fox WR45E, big up base and chat, 100%. Thank you very much for being here as always. Veritas Adastra, I can literally see it. Schofield Senior to his son. No worries, Junior. Eat this pound of raw chicken. I already cooked out. I already bought our tickets home. I mean, look, as much as he's doing, it wouldn't be surprising, isn't it? I'm sorry. Shameless from the Austin Senior. Kid Austin Senior, aka Schofield Senior. Um, This is the best card in the world that never happened in the quickest turnaround ever. Does this mean they void your ACCA and you get a refund base saved by the massager or for real? I don't actually have an ACCA on this. As much as it pains me to say, there's actually, well, that's a lie. There's money in my account, but I can't really use it. So I've actually been using my credit card for the last couple of weeks. Small, and obviously, like when my prop account gets replenished at the end of the month, so next Friday, then obviously I'll pay off what I've spent on the credit card. But you can't use credit cards on any gambling sites, so yeah, no ACCAs for me this weekend. I think I'm gonna leave it as that. Basically, man, like Kiela Dunn, shout out to you. What's the illness? We don't know about Joe Dubois' illness, and we don't know about Schofield's illness either. Apparently, we'll find out tomorrow about Scofield, but I'm pretty sure they will just slink off, and nothing will be put out. Whatever the excuses for Scofield, it just stinks of bad business, 100%. JDM, what's JDM saying here? Josh is a sparky, I think. He's probably getting 2 or 3 years wages tax-free in one fight. Yeah, we say tax-free. I mean, even though the money is coming from Saudi, I think his bank account, his limited company and everything, or his regular bank account is based in the UK. So he will be liable for the tax, unfortunately. But that being said, yes, it's probably 2-3 years wages. I'm sure he can start investing in some nice properties from that. Take boxing full time, couple more quick paydays, be out the game. Star Fox DDO vid 25. That's the illness. Alright, what's this now? Didn't something happen with Kid Austin and H2O Silv to cancel? Yeah, he said that he suffered a broken rib in training, and I remember H2O Silv was like, "Well, what was you doing training MMA?" He's like, you were supposed to fight me, and it didn't happen. Like you, so he does have previous with, unfortunately, withdrawing from fights. Fighters got to take the opportunities of the Riyadh season, 100%. I can't lie, even if I was out of shape, if they called me for a Riyadh season card, I'm taking it, because it's probably more money than I've got in any previous bout. Yes, it might be a hard fight, but you take it, roll the dice, maybe you catch a lucky punch, and and then you get opportunity to come back with notice. I wonder if Turkey is going to change the contract clauses because of that experience, adding some hefty penalties. Yeah, I mean, I would say, what I would make them do? I would put it into every purse that will pay you, but all of your expenses you have to pay for yourself before you get here. And then once the fight is over, we will pay you your purse plus whatever expenses that we owe to you from doing the travel and the food or whatever. So that way, if you don't fight, you get nothing, and you come with a charge, rather than you get put up in nice hotel on the Saudi Diamond. That's what I would be doing. No, you pay everything up front. We'll refund it all back to you along with your paycheck at the end of the event, and that will weed out some of the people just out there taking the piss. Base, we know you have a Goldman Sachs credit card with $500,000. Mate, I wish. Actually, no, I don't wish, because I don't know if I could be trusted with that much available credit. I'm fairly sensible nowadays with money, but I have been known to have a little bit of an impulse control problem from time to time. Normally when trainers are involved, but yeah, with that, I mean, although to be honest, buy a £500,000 house on the credit card and then just leverage it, I suppose I'll do something like that. But yeah, don't give me a large credit score credit limit right about now. North Bank, what's he saying? I guess those Saudis paydays take tax into consideration, and they bump the deals to cover that. Here's the extra to cover the home tax. Yeah, probably. Although I would assume most people would be like, at this point, they would just create an account, an offshore account somewhere, and just have the money over there, and just funnel a little money, or use those cards to make all their payments moving forward. Um, Murad, shout out to you, Arawak. Your base bear things unfolding. 100%. I mean, listen, this is a night for talking the talk. What illness could Dubois have this close to fight that he didn't have 3 weeks ago? I'm guessing there were still metabolites in his system. Who knows? I mean, Eddie kept saying, man out there spending time in Brazil. Maybe it's something that he caught from them Brazilian streets. And I will kind of leave it there, because I don't want to, speak ill of anyone else that he may have been associating with out there. But it doesn't look good at this point in time. But yeah, okay, so we got through the Scofield thing. Obviously, I guess now it's only right that we got to talk about like the heavyweights, and the fact that there is no more there is no more IBF title on the line. So I guess the thing we got to consider now is this still the greatest card ever? We've lost 2 fights from it. To be honest, well, here's the thing: the 2 fights that we lost, did we get better fights as replacements? Scofield versus Stevenson versus Padley, I don't think would have been a better fight than Stevenson versus Scofield, right? So that's now dropped the quality down a little bit. No one's fault, but it's happened. Is Bakole versus Parker a better fight than Dubois versus Parker? Is a non-title fight with a guy that we know is coming off the couch. Let's keep it real. He has not been in any intensive training camp. So a guy that's likely going to be coming in close to 300 pounds. Let's not forget, what fight was it? It was the I don't think it was the Anderson fight. I think it was the Takam fight, where Bakole was trying to hide his gut under the groin protector, the groin guard, where he was embarrassed about the shape that he came in. So I wouldn't be surprised if we're close to that kind of shape now, which tells me that Martin Bakole has got maybe 4 rounds in him, maybe 5. And that's 5 rounds at a decent Martin Bakole pace, where he does actually let his hands go. The feet are going to be slow. So can Joseph Parker, basically do the in and out, the jab, the backhand, get in, stab to the body, get back out, don't get trapped on the ropes? Can he do that for the first 5 rounds and not get caught with one of those nasty body shots, or one of those nasty uppercuts on the inside that that Bakole likes to throw, or even that almost like that straight reaching shot that he does, where you think he's out of range but somehow he still manages to catch you? Can he get through all of that for 5 rounds, survive that, and then try to take over on the second half of the fight? Because that's clearly going to have to be the game plan. There's no point trying to go toe to toe with Bakole in those first 2-3 rounds, especially with that much size on him. Like, realistically, until he starts to get tired, he ain't gonna feel them punches. Like he's got a big barrel of protection there. The same way when Anderson tried to hit, throw, and shoot to the body, he looked down at the punch like, "What are you doing?" Bang. So it's interesting, but again, it's not a world title fight. So we've gone from a world title fight down to maybe an interim WBO title fight. So a shot at the next in line for Usyk, possibly. I mean, that being said, Daniel's the IBF champ. So if he's not fighting this fight, there's nothing that actually stops him from now going back into a direct fight with Alexander Usyk for their undisputed title. I wouldn't be surprised if they did that. I mean, look, let's have another crazy conspiracy theory. Now, this one I don't believe, but while we're here, let's do it. Maybe Daniel thought, you know what? Parker's a bit too confident for my liking. I want the Usyk fight. If I lose this fight, I can't get my rematch with Usyk. All right, let me. I'm not feeling too good. Come out of this fight, sign up straight into a fight with Usyk in the summer. And Dubois been fighting regularly enough, like he can survive from September up until June, July. Before fighting again, like that 9 to 10 months won't kill him after the level of activity he's had over the last 18 months or so. And then obviously Usyk's going to be a little bit older as well. Maybe that's the plan. You don't take this fight, which is now risky, when what you really want is that rematch for undisputed against Usyk, because it wasn't undisputed last time. This time it gets to be undisputed. I'm just saying. I don't. Well, again, I'm putting full out. I'm not believing this, but since we're doing up conspiracy theories and doing up shenanigans, I mean that's a pretty decent one, I like. I mean, you guys let me know in the chat what you think, and then we'll get back to this Bakole and Parker talk. Shout out to Hot Video. Bakole versus Parker is a serious fight. I'm so happy. Okay, hear that. Star Fox, I'd like to know what illness Juju can't save you from too. I mean, yeah, there's definitely that. Yeah, Bakole is a great fight. Okay, I hear that, and I'm not gonna dispute that. What's he saying? Something about Padley is rated higher. Yes, he is, but he's not as well known. So that's the trade-off. But that being said, Padley's rated higher because he beat I guess an up and coming, not even a contender, a prospect in Mark Chamberlain, who was getting a lot of notoriety off of the Riyadh season. So he wasn't ranked prior to that fight. So and I'm pretty sure that Scofield is actually higher ranked in some of the other divisions, but I could be wrong in the other rankings. I mean, but I haven't checked. So. Brad Arrowhack, Triple D was shadow boxing bare chest last night, and I hear it's kind of chilly in the evenings out there, so there could be something in there. Well, I mean, if you watch that video, was it Queensbury, where he went back to the ends and basically back to his old boxing gym and stuff in Deptford and Peckham and all of that. There was a cold day there. Everyone else was wrapped up warm, and he was out there in compress leggings and just like a light windbreaker. So maybe he's had the cold being infiltrated him for a little while. He doesn't like to wear a lot of clothes. So Veritas, small loss in quality. The card is still great. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that the card is a bad card. I'm just thinking, when we was all talking about the whole comparing it to the Don King cards and all that stuff, everyone was like, well, because everything is like they're all 50-50 fights or 60-40 at worst. Is that still the same? I mean, now we've got one that is clearly a 90-10, at best 80-20. And obviously on paper you'd like to think that Parker and Bakole should be a 50-50, but realistically that should actually really be more of a 70-30. to Joseph Parker. You got Bakole coming off the couch with 48 hours notice, realistically. Plus, you look at Bakole, like Bakole doesn't have any world level wins on his record. Part of that is because maybe people have chosen not to fight him. I get it, but Parker at least has world class wins on his record. Like Bakole doesn't. So in that, like, even though he's highly rated and highly ranked, we actually don't know quite how good he is yet. We know he's I'd say probably we know definitely he's in that fringe contender status, but we don't know if he's actually better than that. So if you're looking at percentages, that one you have to look at as more of I would say a 65-35 to Parker. Am I going to pick it that way? Well, you have to wait for the video tomorrow to find out. Imagine he's in shape. Yeah, I don't think he is. Agree 100% he gasses early. Yeah, I don't think he's in that shape. Unless his whole game plan is going to be to throw three punches around, and they're just going to be his hardest punches, and he's just going to basically walk forward, no spring in the step, and conserve energy that way. Yeah, I just don't see it. Parker deserves an interim belt then, but he's got an interim. He's the WBO interim champion now. He's got that belt. It was on the table at the press conference, and at least now he gets. And well, I don't know how it's going to play out, but at least now he gets to keep that interim status, which he should be able to parlay into a fight against Usyk, because WBO is the next mandatory up. So the WBA that got satisfied. Obviously, he doesn't have the IBF. WBC haven't called a mandatory, but Zhang and Caballero is their final eliminator, and they ain't not going to be in any rush to call that. So this card now is the ultimate showdown. Is Bakole confirmed? I mean, from what I've seen on Twittex, it looks like it is. It came from, I think, The Ring, saying that it was going to be Parker versus Bakole. I can only assume that that's the case, but hold on. Oh, I just got an email from John O'Regan from GBM Sports, and it says that Huey Fury offers to replace sick Daniel Dubois versus Parker on Saturday. Yeah, of course. He says, I'm training for a fight right now. I'm fighting fit, ready to go, and me and Parker have unfinished business. Yeah, cool. Imagine Bakole wins and it's AJ versus Bakole next. I mean, hey, it could happen. Will be interesting to know if any bare-chested Insta models over there have caught anything other than. Well, I don't think they're allowed to do any of that stuff over there. There's still rules they got to abide by. Shout out to that guy. This is a nice little situation for Daniel. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Mo Ali looks like a new watcher. Shout out to you. I think it's ridiculous to get off. I think it's ridiculous to offer boxers fights with days' notice. The BBBOC should outlaw this. The UFC have backups for their main events that are paid to be so. Well, the thing is, let's be honest now, we don't know the situation with any of these boxers. Maybe a few of them were told, keep ticking over, just in case. You never know what could happen. There's every possibility that is the case. So, while I agree that it's not the greatest, these people obviously have to have their medicals and their checks and everything. So as long as all of their things and medicals are up to date, their checks are up to date, and they are healthy in terms of being able to participate, there's nothing else you can really do. I personally would have preferred if the two fights just came off the card, but that's from a perspective of someone that's going to do a watch along and is going to be basically chained to to their chair and their laptop for about 8 hours. um, although it's not the first time I've had to do that with a Riyadh season card. So yeah, that's true. But I wonder where that leaves Daniel now and who he fights next. Daniel's team was so confident they smoked Parker and early. That's what I'm saying. Like it leaves him in the perfect position to go straight into a Usyk fight. Remember, he called out Usyk after Usyk and Fury too. He was like, Usyk, I want you, Usyk. I want my revenge. Like revenge. Frank, where's Frank? Like, let's make it happen. You did all right tonight. You did all right, but I want my revenge. So now he can go straight into that fight. There's no reason, so now there's no obstacle because it's another undisputed fight at Riyadh season. I mean, it's a no-brainer. Shakur gets Padley, Parker gets Bakole. Yeah, you know what? I said the other day, and I remember when Joseph Parker was on October Reds Live. Shout out to October if she's watching. And I said it even before then when I put out a tweet saying it feels as if Joseph Parker is getting being what's the word I said? It feels like he's being punished for upsetting the apple cart twice, and Parker liked the comment. Then he obviously gets the Dubois fight, but remember he's always been brought in as the B side. He's been expected to lose. He was expected to lose against Deontay Wilder. I picked him to win. He was expected to lose against Zhang. Now, I think I picked Zhang to win that fight. And then, funny enough, I scored the fight a draw at the end of it. So, but he was the underdog in both of those fights. Now, in this one, underdog again, cool. But then, he's now got less notice than Shakur has. And he's actually having to take on a much more dangerous opponent. Whether like Bakole is on the level or not, he is a lot more dangerous than Josh Padley is in comparison. I mean, Murad Aliyev would have been a fairly difficult fight on 40 hours notice, to be honest. I mean, David Adelaide, that would have never happened. Lawrence Okoli, like these men have literally just had fights signed and they did a whole press conference. Like you can't pull them guys out of that fight card. But there's other, maybe someone like a Agron Smakichi, the guy that's allegedly cut Fury in that before the first Usyk fight. You put him in there with someone like that. With someone that he should now on 40 hours notice get. I'm not saying get an easy touch, but get someone that's a lot less of a lively dog than that. You can, maybe what's Mamor Char doing? Like, get Mamor Char. I think that would be a more, a more acceptable, proposition on 40 hours notice. But no, man's going for Bakole, and you know what? I rate it. It's an extremely dangerous, and the worst thing is, not only is it extremely dangerous, there's no upside. Because if you beat Martin Bakole, it's okay. Well, Martin Bakole was coming off the couch. He didn't have a proper training camp. You beat a guy that was ill prepared, and a guy that we didn't really know what level he is anyway. If you lose everything. You lose your world title status. You lose your mandatory status. You lose your opportunity to fight for a world title. And considering the fact that you spoiled Riyadh plans twice in a row before, they're not going to be in a quick position to put you back in position to try and fight for a title again. So, when we talk about that Samoan and that Uso spirit, I got a rate, man. Obviously, he's a Capricorn like myself, so we take them hard challenges without thinking it through certain times. But it is just a crazy fight to take. There is no upside, and yeah, he has everything to lose and nothing to gain because people won't even give him the proper credit for the victory if and when he gets it. Philip, if that were true, I'd say Daniel Dubois is ducked for that. Then yeah, I hear you, Philip. I hear you. Where is Don Charles? Ironic, he's also a part of the Gone Missing Club too. Yeah, I haven't seen Don Charles out in Riyadh. I don't know if he might be there, but I haven't seen him, and Daniel's not mentioned him, in the lead up to this. Again, who knows? especially after Don did his revenge tour a couple months back. He ain't been seen or heard of since. You could be onto something, Base. Parker might have him a bit shook. Like I said, we're doing crazy conspiracies tonight. We're doing theories all around the place, and that to me just seems like a based on all of this. And if you really want the undisputed fight, this just like everyone. If everyone's saying, I mean, look, if he can get past those first rounds, this Parker's fight, like he's got that experience. Where maybe you just think to yourself, I want something that's a bit more guaranteed than that. Um, I suspect Don Charles did judge notice Dubois didn't give him credit again when asked. Shout out to Iffy. Hi Lucan. It's based off a tweet from what I've seen. Been at work all day though. I think that was about Scofield pulling out of a fight, possibly. I'm not sure. Agreed. Let's see what else we got. No, take some Lemsipper fight. Yeah. Oh, okay. Shout out to James. Don Charles is in Saudi with Daniel. Okay. So I haven't seen him out there, but I'll take your word for it. Dubois better have leprosy or something. Take your Lemsip. Parker is a clear favourite now, given the circumstances. Yeah. Does Zhang understand that no Diddy phrase? Yeah, I think it's been explained to him. I think he let's not forget he does speak a little English and he knows the situation with the no Diddy. So yeah, he's having fun. He's having fun with the limited English that he knows. But he's a character. Parker is stopping him. Bakole is going to be overweight and overconfident. So okay, all right, I hear that. Big up Uncle Donny still. Okay, we have seen AJ fight with a flu, cold, etc. Would like to know what Daniel has. I mean, yeah, I would assume it's got to be more than just the sniffles or whatever, because I'm sure that there is a certain injection you're allowed to take. It's like, I think it's like a saline fluid or something that they're allowed to give you, or a tablet that you're allowed to have, and it gets cleared and everything, and you can take that, and it sort of helps with flu-like symptoms, especially this close to fight. But it must be something worse. Okay, so it is on BoxRec now with okay, Parker and Bakole. Shades of Ali. Sit down, Huey. No one cares. Okay, Michael Januario, shout out to you. I haven't seen you since, even on Undefeated, I haven't seen you for a while, man. Bakole still can't be judged highly. Best win was Jared, and how good is Jared? Not in the top 10. Yeah, I mean, that's very true. Best win is Jared. After that, maybe I would have said Tony Yoka, but then no, it's probably Carlos Takam, because Takam beat Yoka. And then after that, maybe it's Yoka, then Igor Shevadutsky, or Sergei Kuzman. You might say that Sergei Kuzman is in there, because he was a pretty highly touted fighter, but he went life and death with Sergei Kuzman after Michael Hunter beat him very comfortably. So yeah. Alibaba, the Chinese eBay. Parker must quickly adapt to Bakole's arm reach, though. Well, is his reach that much different to Dubois? I can't really imagine it being too much different. At most, maybe an inch, but it's more the range of punching, because his punches will be a bit more different. And whereas he was going to be looking to try and take away Dubois' jab, taking away Bakole's jab don't really help you, because Bakole likes to throw the backhand more regular than the jab more times than not. So that might be the adjustment. Shout out to Tomiwa. Daniel bottled it. Triple knee, took a knee without getting in the ring. Shame. Jeez. I doubt October is watching. Probably hiding Riyadh. or hiding in Reactport bushes, waiting for a DM reply. But big her up still. Well, no, but she already got the interview back, and he's apologized for leaving her in the lurch. So you know, I'm pretty sure they're back on good terms again. I can't believe Bakole's name was a choice for a replacement. That dude just started at heavyweight in his last fight, and he's supposed to be fighting Reactport, but they wanted him to fight Parker. I mean, he would have wanted to fight Parker. There's more money involved in it. I mean, I'd take it rather than fighting Richard Reactport for probably like a third of the money. Um, Shout out to Danny, Fight Fan TV. Don Charles is out there. He's been with Daniel all week in the Tyson gym. Okay, thank you very much for the confirmation. Didn't see his dad anywhere in Saudi. Oh, listen, stop hating about here we go with the Capricorn thing again. Look, you know how we run things. Like, you little Leo begs, like, move to the side. Don was talking about Triple D has the best team and the best camp just last night. Okay, well, that clearly went out the window. What's this? Box Nation just posted a video with Yard in Saudi. What's this? Don Charles definitely has some Vicks vapor rub in his travel. This is crazy though that this has happened. This has happened ever on a fight week where two opponents have to withdraw. Well, no, that's happened before. Definitely happened before, just never on like this kind of scale. You would think they would try to wrap the fighters in more cotton wool than that, but I guess when you've got like a 7-fight stacked card like this, you can afford to have a couple drop-offs with maybe a couple of lighter touches, because then that means that hopefully those fights don't go the distance and the broadcast lasts a short amount of time. I feel Takam gets underrated. That guy is a rough fight. No, Takam, I rated Takam quite highly. I still feel like he was unfairly stopped in the Anthony Joshua fight, and obviously he was beating the brakes off of Derek Chisora and then just basically got overconfident and got caught. I've always said I wanted to see a rematch between Takam and Chisora, but Chisora didn't want to do that. He clearly realized, yeah, I got lucky in that one. I don't want to tempt fate. But I would have loved to see Chisora Takam too. Yeah, that's the power of signing with Warren. Very true. You're right. Just checked, and Dubois has 1 inch more reach. Okay, yeah, so I thought. So the only thing he's got to worry about is the backhand's going to be in play more from early over him than the That's So, but look, I've pretty much said what I want to say on kind of everything that's been going on. So what I'm gonna do, we've been getting almost an hour. I'm gonna let this run for like another 10-15 minutes. Actually, so I've got 3 tunes, right? You guys know the signal is this one. Normally there's another one, this one, and then we have the outro. I'm gonna put a link in the chat. Anyone wants to jump on before those tunes play, you can come on, have your say. Otherwise, we'll sign off as we normally do by hour 15. That's a good amount of time. It'll give me some time to do a little bit of background, a bit of research on this Parker and Bakole fight, and put out the video. The video will be out obviously first thing in the morning or about 12 o'clock, one or the other. One will be out like early morning, or late morning, early afternoon. The other one will be out like late afternoon, early evening. And then the stream will be set up, or the first part of the stream for Saturday, and we go again. So, well, I want to thank everyone who is here and has been locked in, been engaging. It's been a very fun live to partake in thus far. I've enjoyed doing little conspiracy theories on some of the things. I've enjoyed debunking my own video from Tuesday. Yeah, it's been fun. I've seen a lot of new faces to my channel, but a lot of older faces, people that I used to see around from the Undefeated. So shout out to them. Shout out to Dodge 172, man like base, big up. What's going on? Bakole for Triple D. Yep, that's what's going on. Oh, Chris Collymore as well. The whole of the undefeated posse's coming out. Shout out to you, Chris. Big up base, always good insight. I appreciate it. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes I'm just like what they say, just throwing shit at a wall and seeing what sticks. But a lot of the time, even when I do that, it's based on sensible analysis of things that I've seen. DJ Clockwise in the building. Shout out to you as well. Big up, big up. Thank you very much. Oh, so while everyone's here, question: put in the chat. What is your fight of the night? Like the fight that you're most anticipating, or the fight that you think is going to be the quote unquote the show stealer? I can't. For me, I do think it's Ortiz and Madrimov. I just can't see that fight not being an action-packed, fun fight. Philip, do you think people should lay off Better Beef when it comes to him not doing enough at pressers or engaging in beef with Eddie? Were people saying anything about him? I don't know. Quite frankly, I don't watch one of his press conferences and expect to be riveted by the press conference. But he had a good little back and forth with Eddie today. I quite liked it. Where he goes, Eddie tried to give him some stickers. No, yes, like we're friends. Eddie gave me fighters and I beat them. It's like, yes, we do good business. I thought that was brilliant. That was amazing work. And especially from English isn't his first. English isn't even his second language, which is third, realistically. So at the end of the day, like, what do you really want him to do? Like, he doesn't need to entertain you in a press conference because he entertains you in a fight. That's what I care about. I don't really care about a press conference, if you want me to be honest. The only time when people have got to be in the press conference doing the most is normally the ones that can't do it in the ring. Realistically, let him be silent as long as I get a good quality fight, which I always do when he fights. So I don't know who's saying that, but here's what it is. Dubois came back from Brazil on a boat with Captain Jack Sparrow and got scurvy apparently. Man like Hot Pies in the building, shout out to you. Clockwise, Ortiz, Madrimov. Okay, so you're in the same with me. Yes, please hit the like button. To those of you who are in attendance right about now, I would appreciate that. And I fully let this thing just roll around without. Alright, so let me time this. Boom. I'm gonna get back to the comments in a second. Yeah, but hit that like button if you haven't done already, please. Dodge Big Bang versus Cab. Okay, yep. That is actually like my second fight, the second fight that I'm most interested in. And I actually need to drop a message to someone in the Zhang camp shortly. Clockwise, I think Bowatsy Smith will be a stinker. Ooh. I mean, you know what? I'm not mad at that take. I can definitely see how you got there. That guy, obviously the main event is much anticipated, but I want to see how Smith versus Bowatsy plays out. Okay, I hear that. Some people in the Matchroom live stream were saying Better Beef sucks because he's not promoting enough. Well, fair enough. But like I said, I don't really care. I don't need him to talk in those press conferences. Like I said, English is his third language. He does enough. I was looking forward to Triple D versus Parker and Stevenson versus Scofield. Okay, I mean, yeah, I wanted to see the fights, definitely. I was looking forward to them, but they weren't my most anticipated. Ortiz Madrimov. Ortiz gets hit too easily. That's fair. Ortiz is getting stopped. Ooh, harsh words. Better be versus Bivol because neither holds, and it would be more shocking to see one of them getting knocked out. Okay, I hear that. You see, I like it when you give the analysis as to why you pick something. I respect that. Even if I don't disagree, I like to hear how you came to a certain conclusion. I mean, Callum versus Bawatsi kicks off the show. That's mad when you leave. Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, I hear you. But in terms of, I guess, who's on the bill, those probably do have the two lowest profiles at this point in time, just based on where their trajectory has been. And obviously, because it's not a world title, it can't be in the top four fights because it's not a world title fight. So, but I get Adames versus Shiraz for me. Okay, that I think is the most intriguing fight. Um, I don't think it would be the best fight of the night, but it's the most intriguing because it's about, can Hamza Shiraz really compete at the world level? He's not had a world level fight before. He hasn't even beaten like a former world champion or like a faded world champ. So we don't know what level he's at. But he's also, as always, an engineer. I mean, a product, sorry, of brilliant matchmaking by Frank Warren. You know, Frank Warren is literally the definition of getting a ham sandwich to a world title. Adames is stopping Shiraz. Ooh, okay, interesting. Um, I wonder when Joshua ends his career, will he have so much regret for not doing enough? Ooh, okay. Hold on, I see a super chat just came in. Who's this from now? Oh, it's Jack in the building. Shout out to you with the 9.99 super chat. I'm happy about this late change. Martin needed a bigger mainstream fight. Triple D still in the picture. It's true. Thank you very much for the super chat there, Jack. Much appreciated. Okay, right. So we're gonna get back to these last set of comments coming through, and then we're gonna close it off. Skyline is Joshua with Uncle Frank now. Not that I'm aware. No, he can't be. Oh, you mean Joshua Bawatsi? Um, I don't know. Oh, actually, sorry. Was you talking about when Joshua ends his career? Maybe. Oh, if you was talking about Bawatsi, maybe. I think you might be right there. I know. From what I heard, he is still with Boxer, but apparently there is the contract is up for negotiation. Like I think after this fight. So watch this space. Ortiz Madrimov is the one I'm most looking forward to. Very hard to pick a winner. Yeah, I went back and forth on that one, and I had to do it early hours this morning, so my brain wasn't even fully engaged. But for anyone who hasn't seen the video, it's there on the channel. But I went with Madrimov to win on points. I said I felt that Ortiz would be taking the fight early. Madrimov will come into it late, but I felt that Ortiz might get dropped a couple of times. In the process, but he will win the fight on activity if Madrimov doesn't do enough or doesn't hurt him. So that's going to be where the interest lies. Oh, what's this? Ortiz is going to beat the S out of this chump. Oof. All right. Okay, hot pies. Don't hold back. Say how you really feel. I'm picking Shiraz, but that could turn out to be a close fight. Adames isn't an easy one to sleep on. No, but the one thing is Adames is a much smaller person than Shiraz. He started his career at 147. Shiraz obviously started at 154, so he's naturally the bigger guy, plus being the taller with the longer range. And Adames is known to walk onto punches from long range punches. And if he keeps it long range, Hamza Shiraz, there's no reason why he can't win that fight quite comfortably. But I've gone for him to win on points. So let's see what else we got. Oh yeah, but Bawatsi, not AJ. Okay, yeah, I agree with you then. Thanks for clarifying. You should have put JB, man. Madrimov getting the shit beat out of him. LOL. I don't really see it, but a hot take. Well, hot take from Hot Pies. It is what it is. All right, I think that's pretty much coming towards the end. There might be one or two last comments to show up on the screen, but yeah, look, I'm going to close off. No one jumped on, which is fine. The live stream, I might even put out a link on Saturday for people to jump in and out of the live stream if they want to, especially in between fights. I'm going to be scoring each and every individual fight. I'm going to be in commentary. I'm going to be scoring, putting those up on 2X for all of you guys to kind of get that and understand where I'm coming from. So yeah. Last one, Amo managed to buzz Shiraz in the second round of their fight. Adama could do the same and maybe catch him. I hear you. But look, for right now, It's the Hardcore Casual out, and I will catch you all on Saturday.
Maybe I'ma make it, maybe I'm not. In time we'll see. But who better than me? I don't care if you agree. I ain't saying that I'm better than anyone, but who better than me?